Hello, my darlings. Good evening, and welcome back to ATL By Night, Season 7, Chapter 1, When the Road Runs Out. Let's welcome back our vampires.
I am Brittany Trambauer-Smith, playing Melisanda.
My name is Tyler Sutherland, playing Aaron Ulrich.
I'm Ian E. Muller, playing Jackson.
I'm Leona Rohr, playing Thomasina Elena Cuesta.
Zachary Valdo, playing Anton Kravopolskov.
I'm Renee Cooper, playing Hexadecimal.
And I'm your storyteller, Ellie Collins. First and foremost, addressing the elder in the room, I want to say a huge thank you to the entire Vanlian community for the way that you guys came together for us, and a huge appreciation for your support during our little hiatus. It really means the world to us, and can't thank you guys enough. Also, again, all of our lovely sponsors on the bottom of the screen. We also want to say, because now it's working, if you go to dieharddice.com and use the code ATL by night, all one word, you will get 10% off your order. So make sure to check that out, and check out all of our other sponsors that are in our link tree, which should be shared to the chat here in a second. We're all getting used to being back now.
Technology's hard.
Mm-hmm. And as always, we want to remind you that our show does deal with dark and horror themes that might be intense for some viewers, so if you need to take a break, feel free to do so. We'll be here for you when you get back. So now, without further ado, let's sit back and relax, and let's tell a vampire story. A lot has happened since we last saw our kindred, so I'm going to get you all up to speed. When we saw them, they had become prisoners of a mad doctor named Victor and his undead army. Victor had become hell-bent on being able to recreate life after the loss of his family. After capturing Elijah and realizing there was a way to cheat death, he took to capturing kindred and putting them through some elaborate and gory traps. Upon escaping, they found a broken and tortured Elijah. Upon making a deal with Victor to introduce him to a Hecata who could hopefully help him gain his dreams of resurrection, the team escaped to their home. As for Mel, a package had been delivered to the coterie's bungalow home of a severed hand and a threat. Her ghoul mark had been missing for a while now, and the LoJack on his vehicle had not moved from College Park. Now, College Park is an area that we know to be agreed upon Anarch territory. The note attached to the hand warned, "Did you learn nothing from Prague?" Prague was the site of a very famous incident that defined Clan Bruja till today. The Bruja clan, led by Theo Bell, revolted. The incident was an ambush that began when Theo Bell shot Hardestat in the face with a shotgun loaded full of Dragon's Breath rounds. It certainly was a way to send a message. After that, the Brujas declared themselves officially out of the Camarilla and a part of the Anarch movement. Ever since, a Bruja in the Camarilla is more rare than a blossoming dogwood that doesn't smell awful. Given the threat, and where the package likely came from, Mel went into hiding, and the other Bruja, including Falcon, have begun to look over their shoulders a bit more. A couple of months of keeping to themselves, staying as low profile as possible, and then one night, the news had a breaking story. Local Atlanta police are reporting that violent brawls have broken out in 8 Waffle Houses across the greater Atlanta area. We are receiving reports from Buckhead, Decatur, Stone Mountain, Johns Creek, Buford, Dunwoody, Smyrna, and West End in the downtown area. Motivation is unknown at this time, but the attacks do appear to be connected, as according to security footage, the attacks began precisely at 8:47 p.m. when an unidentified individual attacked another patron. There was only one person in each Waffle House instigating the attacks, and it's believed that there were no other individuals associated with them at each attack. These individuals appeared to be at the Waffle Houses, ordered no food, and sat approximately 23 minutes before the attacks began. They asked for any information on the tip line for the story as it developed. And upon research, the coterie discovered, thanks to the Nosferatu, that each attack took place in a Primogen's domain. 1 per domain. Alpha has sent out a warning to all Primogen and the Shepherds that the Anarchs are making a move. And unfortunately, the knowledge about them is slim. All they know is that the Baron of College Park is a man named Gordon. The lack of knowledge frustrates Dot endlessly, but no one, at this point, will enter College Park. And so tonight, the coterie has awakened at their high-rise safe house. So if everyone but Mel could please give me a rouse check. Hungrier?
I am hungrier because I was black. Yep.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, so Jackson and Anton passed.
No, I did not.
Oh.
Attack me.
So everyone's a bit hangry. And then Mel, separately, can you make your rouse check, please?
I think that means that I failed, right?
Yes.
Yes, failed. Yes.
Okay, so everyone but Anton
Woo!
is waking up at Hunger 2 tonight.
It's good times.
And so you guys get up and around, and you see each other.
Y'all feeling all to... Do we see Mel?
No.
You do not
Okay,
see
so
Mel.
it's like-
As far as you all know, Mel is still gone.
Okay. Y'all feeling all together?
A little scattered, but in one piece for what seems like a long time. You?
Pretty sure I got all the crucifixes out. Yeah.
I am, no one asked me, but I'm leaving and I'm going to go to where I usually go to look through files. We're in the same place that Alpha
Yes.
has his. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna
You're going upstairs to Alpha's apartment?
yeah,
Okay.
I'll be gone for a bit. I'm looking for something and I want to go up to my usual file look through place.
Okay.
Text them if you need anything.
And let us know if Mom texts.
Sure. Gonna head up.
Okay. And what about the rest of you?
I, per usual, will check the fridge.
You do have some blood packs. There's about 6. Since things have calmed down a bit, they've been able to start a very quiet resurgence of trade.
Okay. I'm just gonna leave them there for a nice squirrel fund.
All right. Anton?
As we discussed previously, Anton woke up to some not great news, so he's a bit out of it.
Jackson?
Just wake up, pull my phone out, start messing around on it, checking social media, text messages,
Okay.
keeping to myself.
Storyteller, if I map out the attacks at the Waffle House, is there any deliberate, like, letter or message, or is it just one per domain?
One per domain.
Okay.
And unfortunately, as the Nosferatus tried to dig in, there's nothing unique about the gentlemen that did the attacks. They all have previous arrests for violent history. That is all that is known. Nothing connects the men. 6 of them are back in jail. 2 are on parole for violating their parole, but the other 2 were let off. But other than that, nothing really remarkable about them, and they're not kindred. They are pure human.
Aaron, I'm sorry, you had something to say.
No.
I'm sorry, you had something to say.
What was on your mind?
How are your connections with law enforcement last you checked?
Indirect.
Mm-hmm.
They should have no idea that I'm still alive, which makes reaching out to them troublesome.
Well, reaching out is one thing, but do you have any avenues on your own?
I didn't have any personal files that are brought with me or access to, like, a police laptop. That was all office stuff. Unless they haven't changed their passwords, I could get in touch with Hex, who could probably help.
Best guess. I'm not really sure threat-wise. Yeah, it's a gesture. I don't necessarily know how dangerous this really is. This is them, as far as I can tell, just saying we're here. I don't know if this is anything to be that concerned about.
It's a little upsetting that they're kind attackers. They were all mesmerized or something, but that kind of, I don't know, cloak and dagger, not really breaking the masquerade, but pretty much throwing a bag of crap inside of the building.
Just pissing on the town to make a mark, as far as I can tell. I do want to know, though, as we haven't seen Mel in a while, whether or not this may be... I don't see her going back to other Bruja roots here.
Storyteller, do I know of any defectors from the Atlanta Camarilla?
No. As of right now, nobody has gone to seek out the Baron.
Okay.
Nobody really would even know where to find him at this point. They'd have about as much luck walking into the middle of College Park and just yelling Gordon.
Which wouldn't really break the masquerade, because they'd just be like any homeless person.
Yeah.
I share that with Thomasina, so I don't think that Mel would just outright leave, but I don't know. She's, with respect, old, has a lot of connections, has a lot of past places she could go if there's pressure. If you're young in the Camarilla, that's kind of what you know. But if you're old and come from something else, it makes living in a different theology hard to adjust to. And it's just now dawning on me, mentioning old and different connections, that I think I'm a little hungry right now.
Are you? You
And
should
I'm gonna
probably
head to
get
the
something.
kitchen and grab a blood bag.
Okay.
Storyteller, has Tabitha reached out to me at any point lately?
After the attacks, she did reach out. She's kind of kept a medium level of contact, but after the attack, she, reached out, clearly very angry. And a little gal pal bitching with you about being made to not do anything about it.
Have I been able to maybe poke and prod and just say, like, I know that we can't technically do anything, but if you really wanted to.
Considering that the one that attacked Tabitha's domain is now in jail,
Yes.
it would take orchestrating something from within the jail to do something, which a certain man in your life has offered.
Yep.
Anyone else in this here living room?
I'm sitting. I'm sitting.
I'm like half laying on the couch, just on my phone, ignoring all of you.
Okay.
Like I'm here, but not here.
All right. Do either of you really think this is an issue? The Waffle House situation.
Oh, I mean, it's one per domain, so it's a message in its own right. Apart from that, I don't really know.
Are you... If you were kind, I would say you were hungry.
No, I'm not hungry.
What? Right, I feel like you're gonna take this on your own time, but...
No, apologies. I woke up to news of a death. My old undergrad teacher. She was like 95.
No.
So, you know, it's to be expected, but trying to sort it.
Okay.
It's not enough. We have these attacks going on, and then we have all the shit with Victor a couple months ago. I have to think on this now too.
And Anton, as she was one of your touchstones, the clock has now begun. You have 72 hours to find a new touchstone before you lose that conviction.
Just a lot weighing. But I don't really know.
Hearing Victor, I'm gonna message Sybil in our Oblivion book. Just check in every night to see how she's processing healing.
She kind of gives you a vampires are fucking stupid response, and then but humans are even more stupid. And over time you kind of gather she's keeping to herself. She's sticking mainly beside Alejandro.
Gotcha.
Occasionally you get a weird selfie from inside the SI facility.
Okay.
And Mel, during all of this, what are you doing?
Okay, couple questions
Yes.
mechanically about this building. I'm assuming you would need a key card to get into the building.
Yes, there is a doorman.
Would I be able to get past somebody? Would I be able to follow somebody else in if they had their key card and they got in, basically?
Yes, also, keys and things for this would have been organized for you by
Okay.
Falcon.
Okay.
So you do have keys, door cards, whatever you need to get into your apartment.
Oh, great. They just don't know that I'm coming, though.
Right.
Okay. All right, well, then I'm going to... I am going to activate Unseen Passage.
Okay.
And I get hungrier, so I'm super hungry now.
Yep.
And invisible-ish.
Yeah.
Gonna take the elevator up to where I go. Okay. Gonna listen with normal hearing outside the door to see if there are people close enough that I can just open the door and sneak in. And what do I hear?
You hear them in the living room, so the way that this is set up, the living room and kitchen are near the front door. Bedrooms kind of go down hallways to the sides. So kind of a, almost like a V shape.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just maybe wait it out until I hear them maybe disperse to other parts of the apartment. Does that make sense? 'Cause,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay unseen and kind of just hunker down until I hear them.
Okay.
What about you? You have any thought on this whole thing? The whole strike fast, strike hard thing is a bit more your alley.
Yeah, it's a message. What that message actually contains, it's kind of not useful to try to send a message and then not actually follow up on it. So
Yeah, I mean, it was all organized. It wasn't just throughout the night, so maybe there's something there.
I think it's just we can be where we want to be message.
All at the same time, like a flash mob.
But beyond that, no.
It's a kindred message. We're long-term people, so we could get something later on in a week and it not really matter timing-wise.
Mm-hmm. Yet another group that's 10 steps ahead of us.
Ahead
They have a plan that we don't know about.
doesn't mean it's a good one. It just means it's a loud one so far.
And Mel, as you're hunkering down in the hallway, you hear the elevator bing, and you see someone who is clearly coming to y'all's apartment, walking towards you. And for sake of surprise, I'll say you know who it is. And they are just very, like, bunched up in hoodie sweats, like, trying to be discreet and rushing straight for the door.
And I know who they are.
Yes, you do.
But you're not going to say right now for the sake of surprise.
Yes.
Okay, well then I am going to quietly scoot, so that they can get to the door and open it, so that I can kind of behind them.
And so for the rest of you, you hear a very frantic knocking on the door.
I'm literally going to be standing right behind them.
I'll get it. I'll go open the door.
Okay. You open the door to see Dot Matrix, and she's dressed as you've never seen her before, in black sweatpants, with a black hoodie with a digital cat on the chest that you recognize as belonging to Mouse. Her hood is pulled up, her arms are crossed. You wouldn't even know it was Dot if not for the striking features under the hood. And she says, I need to speak to Hex. All of you technically, but I have to talk to Hex.
She stepped out.
But come on in. We'll text her.
I text Hex
Oh,
while
that's
they're talking. I don't say I do, I just do it.
I'll step aside to let her in. Storyteller, quick question though. Since the unseen is listed as passive, do I just roll to see if I see Mel?
Yeah, you would have to be thinking
Okay.
that you need to look for something.
It said passive, so I didn't know if it was just a kicked on thing or not.
You would have had to already have it up.
Alright. So yeah, I'll just step aside for Dot to come in.
And she just goes in and she just kind of sits down on the couch and goes, I can text her or
I already did.
What'd you text me?
Your mom's here.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the warning.
I just close the door.
and she's just staying quiet. She's keeping to herself, but she is noticeably distraught. Something is very wrong.
I'm just gonna sit right in front of her. And I'm gonna look for anything that might be off. I'm betting something's off. Probably not, but
Given her extremely white skin, you can see staining around her eyes of blood that she's clearly been crying.
How's our friend Victor?
Fine.
Great.
I'm gonna grab the. So, with these files, there is the file that Alpha had showed me first that talked about why I died, how I died, why that whole situation went down. So I'm gonna grab that file
Okay.
and bring it back down.
Okay.
After I text Hex, I actually do text Anton and be like, did she bring any friends?
And then I'll pick on I will pick on Sensei and Scene.
Standing against the wall.
Dot is in those for too.
Yeah, I was like, wait a
Exactly.
minute.
That's fair. That's fair. 5 successes.
Oh yeah, no.
Good.
Yeah, she's there.
I'm gonna like kind of like look at Mel until she sees me, and then I'm gonna text Jackson, just Mel. But I'm not gonna make any reaction.
Wait, what?
I'm not responding. I'm literally just looking.
Okay, I also want to, I don't think it's going to come into play, but before I leave, I'm going to grab, is there anything on Anarchs? Like, I want to, like, that's kind of what I was doing my research on while I was up there. Is like anything old school that I could pick up that may hint at Anarchs from his stuff.
You get some general background information on Anarchs, but as far as current Anarchs in Atlanta, still all that's known is that
According to
likely there is maybe about 20 to 30 of them in College Park. It was agreed with Gordon and Talbot, which is why there's not much information.
Yeah.
Gordon and Talbot had agreed that the Anarchs get College Park. The Camarilla never goes inside of College Park, and the Anarchs are to never leave College Park.
Okay.
So the Waffle House attacks are the first show of the Anarchs leaving College Park in 10 years.
Okay, cool. Then I'll just grab that one file and head down. I'll take the escalator, I guess.
There's an elevator and stairs.
Why did I say escalator?
I don't know.
I don't want to take the magical escalator. I'll take the elevator and, yeah, just stroll in. Not going to do anything crazy.
Okay. And when Dot looks at you, you see the same. She's distraught. She's been crying.
Wait, where's Mel? Where's your
you don't-
shape? Like, I didn't run into you.
So
No,
I,
she's in, like in the corner of the.
I'm
okay,
like
yeah.
standing against the wall, like
You're in, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
intentionally being flat.
I see her. Nobody else does at the
Yeah,
moment.
Anton's just casually staring at her, and I followed his line of sight to see if I
Like,
can figure
to
out
everybody
where
else,
she
it
is.
probably looks like I'm zoning out the same way I've been the entire time.
Okay, so I'm in there. I'm just gonna stand, like, close the door and stand by the door.
And she says, Hex, I really need to talk to you, please. And the way she says please, none of you guys have ever heard her say it and mean it before.
Okay.
Okay.
Before she starts talking, after she does that, I'm just gonna use heightened senses and make a wits and awareness roll to see if she smells like Dot normally smells, because that's
Okay.
weird.
I'm gonna go grab a blood bag from the fridge.
Okay.
And as he is doing that, I'm gonna try. No, not. I was like, can I? No, because it'd be floating in the air. That doesn't make any sense. So
4 success.
Okay. She does smell like her usual self.
Interesting.
I sit back down on the couch with the blood bag.
Okay.
I'm going to take the blood bag.
I take it back immediately,
I'm just like,
and then I toss it at Mel.
and I guess at that point,
It's either gonna hit you or you'll catch it.
Yep.
no, I'm
Either
definitely
way.
gonna catch it. I'm gonna catch it, and then I'm
And-
gonna rip it open and
Yep.
drink it
And
without
she's-
any.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you go down 1.
And she's visible.
Jeez.
I go. Okay, go ahead.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Welcome back, Mel.
It's important enough that you should be here, apparently.
Multiple surprises in one day, 1 minute. You good? You still have both hands? Okay, so I guess it wasn't.
Fingers wasn't unaccounted
Alright.
for.
Speaking of that, Mel, sorry, important, I'm sure. Mel, we've had some issues with replacements recently. I need you to show me that you can bleed like us.
There's an easier way to do that.
Yeah, I can just talk to her inside.
Yeah,
That's less
One second.
dangerous. Thank you.
although slightly more disconcerting.
Blah. Blah.
You have to do the blood dye anyway.
Oh, well. Oh,
Yeah.
will that have made a difference?
Yeah.
Well, it does, because I passed. Okay. And then that's just Pharaoh Whispers. I'm just going to be like, Brittany Bugs?
And what does my inside say?
Your insides say nothing. You
Gurgle,
are not
gurgle.
buzzed.
Okay.
No sound.
No clicks, no nothing.
Nothing,
I'm like, all right. That. Welcome back, non-Brittany Bugs.
Sorry about that.
Ooh, all right. A lot happening. all of a
Sorry,
sudden.
wasn't trying to ruin this moment. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna like walk myself to a back room or something. And
Glad to see you back.
It's important for all of us, Mel.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You should probably stay.
oh, okay.
And tell us why you
you
went on
should
an
stay.
underground vacation?
After.
Okay. And I'll just kind of come over and like sit on the floor.
Oh, my diary entry is gonna be full today. All right.
Okay. So first off, Hex, I'm about to get a lot out, and you can be mad at me later for it. Just wait till I'm done. And just know that I wanted to help you. I just am not quite as proper about it as others would probably like. When I turned you, your accident, it was my fault. I had someone hit your car and send it off Spaghetti Junction. And I was waiting for you at the bottom so I could turn you as soon as possible. Hopefully, so you wouldn't hurt. You had to die. At least to the world. You were being stalked by this guy, and he was gonna kill you and make you into multiple trophies. His details about killing you were grotesque and you don't need them. I knew of you from your research papers. You're absolutely brilliant. You always have been. And you're such a talented young woman, you didn't deserve what he was going to do to you. And I hunted him down. That was the natural answer for me. Man like that doesn't really deserve to live as far as I give a fuck. So I did some looking, and she just kind of pulls off her hood and is just like rubbing her head in frustration, like not even noticing that like she's rubbing the piercings and they're pulling and she's bleeding slightly. He was a fucking redcap.
Oh, Jesus, fuck that.
Hex dear, you know that there's werewolves and mages and ghosts, and there are also fae. And some of them are very malevolent, horrifically so. And all non-humans have a very, very paper-thin treaty with them. And at any time, if we are perceived to be violating it, well, they will start a war that we will lose, I promise you that. The Garu may even only last a month. We would all die, and a lot of very innocent humans.
You tried to hunt one down?
I didn't know until I found him. So that was the choice I had to make, was either a bloodbath to save Hex, or knowingly let him kill her, and I don't like either of those fucking choices. So I came up with another option where if you died in a horribly tragic accident, your body burned up beyond recognition, he can't pursue you anymore. He would have to drop it. And you technically wouldn't have had to die. Truly, at least. So here we are. I made my choice and I'll live with it for however long they let me live. But I thought it was right at the time.
You sound like you're out of time.
Of course she is. He's obviously back in some capacity. If she's coming here to tell us now.
Wait, what?
He found out. I don't know how. I've been keeping tabs on him making sure that he didn't come near you or be in the same areas as you enough to make sure that he didn't see you, but he got a letter, and I don't know who from, and it contained information about you, about me, everything about your turning, and the address of the bungalow house. And I have now gotten a summons to show up at their version of a prince to a meeting of his tomorrow night to plea for my life, more or less. And I might not come back, so I wanted all of you to hear the truth because I know none of you trust me, and that's completely fair. But Hex has to come too.
Why?
Because to the Fae, there are only a few ways to solve this.
Storyteller, are most of the details before the part about them finding out about me in that file and part of what I looked at? Okay.
Yes. Kind of, the details in the file are a little fuzzier, and what Dot gave you is the more concise picture.
Okay. So I'm gonna take the file and I'm gonna like toss it towards her, like pretty strong, but so it can. She's not meant to catch it. It's meant to kind of fall like in her lap. I already knew about the accidents, and it sounds like you should have just let me die by his hands.
No, he doesn't want to die by one of their hands.
I mean, if we're gonna be in this situation, what's my next move anyway? And now that's affecting.
You would have been better off actually crashing at the between.
Okay, well then, regardless.
Hex, the things he was going to do to you, the
Well,
things that you've all told me that you went through at Victor's, that would have been simple compared to what he wanted to do. You don't know what these creatures are like.
well, now I do, because I know that it's bad, and now it's involved more than it could have just been me. It involves you. It could involve so much more depending on what happens after this. I'm just not understanding why you have the authority over what my life was supposed to be or my death was supposed to be.
Because I didn't think you deserved to be tortured for easily 6 straight months. I didn't think you deserved to be in multiple pieces because you are a smart and brilliant and wonderful young person, and I don't meet very many humans I give a shit about. I could have just turned you and let you survive on your own. I raised you because I gave a shit about you.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're coming to me now and getting upset at me for something you did.
No. I told you have every right to hate me. You have every right to be angry at me. I'm only telling you because you have to come with me to this.
Or what?
Or they will come find you.
And then this is over.
No.
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 Then war begins.
They.
If you come with me, it satisfies that I lied. It satisfies that I manipulated the situation, and I can give them my head instead of yours.
And that makes this better.
Makes it square.
By their logic, it will make it more even. They are very much an honor-bound system and a fair trade, as fair as it can be, system. If she brings you as evidence that she is the reason why you are still here, then blame can fall onto her, and not have you be reclaimed by this thing, which you do not want to be.
Was I ever claimed by him?
Apparently,
According to their society, yes.
Well, what's the difference between them claiming me as a human and claiming me how I am now? How will I know that that's not already in their little bylines, that they can make all these rules? They're so high and mighty.
You don't understand them, and I don't expect you to.
No,
We
I
don't
don't
even understand
understand. I mean,
it's a matter of letter of the law with them. They are precise down to the word. So if there was a specific wording of how this thing was allowed to take you, and it involved the human Alethea, then the moment you stopped becoming the human Alethea, the contract was void.
But we don't know that until we go there. Until they know for a fact that I'm alive, or
He already knows for a fact you're alive.
well, technically I'm not alive. So shouldn't everything just be null and void? I don't understand. I really don't understand. And you can't be mad at me for not understanding
I'm
because
not mad at you for not understanding. I'm not mad at you at all.
What Dot is suggesting is that she brings you as evidence that she violated their contract. Thus, blame falls onto her. He does not get to reclaim the contract. It is a one-for-one trade. And for once, I'm going to agree with her on this.
Were you researching any of this between embracing her and now? Anything that you could possibly do?
Alpha is coming with me, and he's going to make a case for that the treaty was written with Talbot. Talbot was not a man in his right mind, and Alpha thinks he may have found some loopholes, and Faye both love and hate loopholes. They hate them when they can be used against them, so Alpha thinks that we can point to this situation and our new honesty on it as a misunderstanding of a loophole and offer to close it to prevent this ever happening again.
how would you have known? How would you have known of this contract beforehand anyway? What if it was just an accident?
That's the loophole Alpha intends to exploit. They are claiming I did it intentionally. Alpha wants to claim I did not do it intentionally. But you showing up proves that you are now a vampire, and that the allegations that the Red Cap says are true. Because if you do not show up, they will hunt you down to find it out. And their way of determining if you're a vampire is far worse than you just showing up with the prince.
You should have just let him have me. And I'm going to my room.
She bought you time.
I'm not listening. I'm already in my room.
Let's look to Dot. I'm coming with you.
I expected that you would all want to come with.
Yes.
Maybe this is the end.
No,
Maybe
it's,
this is what it's meant to be, you know? We keep running from it, but it keeps finding us.
No.
So maybe this is just how it's meant to be.
this-
Right?
This is how we deal with one problem. Out of the thousands of, I agree that we have, this is how we deal with it. One that, loath as I am to admit it, Dot has given us years ahead of any of this. Between embracing Hex and now, there's been at least a little time to try and get ahead of the situation.
So we just walk Hex into a bloodbath, potentially.
No.
No, we walk her into a more formal than you've ever seen in Elysium court hearing.
Yeah.
Elaborate as shit. Which season are we in?
7.
No, no. I'm asking, like,
We're still in winter.
great. So we walk them into a elaborate, not so bright and shiny, but elaborate court system, and they will play at etiquette and bounce their words off of each other, and only if somebody steps a toe out of line will they try to turn it into a bloodbath, which is half the reason I'm going. I'm one of the only people that's actually even seen 5 of these things in this room.
Their version of a prince is a crafty one.
I didn't even know Atlanta had a duke.
Yes, you do.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Wait,
Yep. I'm lost.
the party?
The CEO.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yep. And he's a puka, so this will be a lot of fun.
Shit. Yeah,
They-
no, I'm definitely coming.
But give him the respect as he's the only reason we're having this, and that they're not just killing me and Hex at the same time.
It's his court. Trust me.
I'm only grateful Atlanta seems to, for some reason, be in the control of men who are a little too stupid to be ruthless.
Dot, how many of these creatures are there?
Of them? I don't know.
I've only ever seen 5 in the past 20 years.
And yet they are infinitely powerful.
They operate on imagination and wonder and dreaming and bending reality at however playful way they wish.
Can't you do that?
Not to that level. I wish I could.
Glamour.
Glamour. You've read.
Yeah.
This is Doctor Strange versus Captain America. We might be strong, but we are by no means capable of dealing with a reality in which we are not strong, because they can just do that.
The way that Alpha wants to approach this with loopholes is the best method, and we have to keep verbally ahead of the game.
And our willingness to participate in this automatically grants us a little favor. A little. Being dragged in, guaranteed. Done. Being able to go in there and understand to the best that we can, and as much as they want us to understand.
Sorry, but you're not going to dictate to me how I feel.
No. I'm saying that we have the best chance if we get there, and if you try, we might get out alive. All of us.
To do what? To run again?
No. Just stay with us for 5 seconds.
We close the loophole. We stop this from happening from what we don't even know could be citywide. My next question is, how do we, I guess, get etiquette to not get torn apart in the middle of the courtroom?
I will help as much as I can with the bit of knowledge I can provide. The only thing I suggest is watch your words. Do not even make a flippant promise.
Ideally, none of you should talk.
Ideally. They will try to talk to you.
That's the trick. Try to not engage them in conversation.
And if you absolutely have to, listen carefully to their words and mind yours just as carefully.
And don't eat or drink anything.
Especially don't eat or drink anything.
Lucky us, we don't have to do that in the first place.
Even if it looks like...
I imagine Hex will never want to speak to me again after this, but please, I need you all to trust that I am not the person I was 8 years ago. I know what I did was stupid, but it was what I felt was right.
I don't think what you did was stupid.
He wouldn't have killed her for 6 months. She would have watched her body go into pieces on the wall, and he would have kept her alive for all of it.
You may have just given us an opportunity for a new treaty. You may have opened up an avenue for conversation that we had not had before, and you did it. But admittedly, it wasn't sanctioned. So what? Neither was I. But you did it to save someone who you said is brilliant, and anyone here would agree.
I should probably go.
Meeting us there?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Alpha will get you the information. It's tomorrow night.
Fine. Keep your word about protecting her, even if it costs your own head, and then I'll believe that you're not the same person.
I have always protected her at the cost of myself. I knew this day was coming. I didn't expect them to want her there too.
And keep it up.
Fuck you. And she stands up and leaves.
Do I hear the elevator?
Yeah, you do hear her walk down the hallway, get in the elevator, and leave.
Once I hear the elevator doors close. Okay, glamour aside, why are these things so dangerous?
We are the antithesis of them. They are full of life and hope. Even the darker ones are full of vivaciousness. And we are the dead. We are everything as they would call it, banal.
When I was in London, an extended vacation in the 70s. The best that I could say is
Which
that
70s?
fair to ask. 1970s. Actually, technically 68 to 76 I was rolled out. It was put to me that they are the transforming, where we are unable to transform in a way that matters to them. They can grow, we cannot. They can embody new dreams, new ages. We cannot.
They can inspire.
Which, yeah, fair, but
So, when push comes to shove, it's a human stepping on an ant.
Well, I would hate to put this thought in your head. We have the slimmest of opportunities one-on-one, but you have to take your opportunity as fast as fucking possible.
and it has to come from respect, which can come through trickery of its own, but give them the opportunity to set those boundaries first.
So, hypothetically, offering to fight the red cap in one-to-one combat to solve this is not necessarily the worst idea.
It wouldn't go the way that you want it to.
You maybe.
Nothing does.
You maybe. Big maybe. In general, bad idea.
Okay. I will
Big
keep that
fucking
in
maybe.
the dark recesses of my brain.
You are a rare case.
Okay.
Like I said, we don't have to talk. And if you do, no agreements, not even a yes, sure, not even a whatever you say.
If they step on your toe and you can manage to not say anything, good for you.
Hex.
Is actually in the room, but is actually in the hallway listening.
Right.
Not invisible though, just
Yeah.
just in the hallway. Yeah.
So are you calling out to Hex, or you just...
All right, well, I'm going to stand up and head to whatever room is considered mine. I'm going to, look and see which one looks the most generic with nothing on the walls or anything and assume that one's mine.
Yeah, that one would be. Yes, that one would be yours.
I was about
Okay,
to say, yours
There-
or Jackson's, you can never be quite too sure.
there is a room for Cirrus that is also
Mate-
sparse, but that one doesn't have a comforter.
How about made bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
Yes. Yeah.
Nothing on the walls. Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah,
Fair.
Cirrus's is just a military dressed bed. You actually have a nice comforter.
I imagine Sirius is like a twin bed.
Yeah.
Am I right that what all did Falcon give me when I returned?
She gave you all of your personal effects.
Okay.
That were reasonable to fit in a bag.
Okay.
Everything else she transferred to it, but had it packed and put in the closet for you to unpack at your leisure.
What about phone, computer,
You got
files,
that.
all that?
Yeah.
That's there in that room.
Yes.
I did not take it with me, obviously.
Yeah.
But, okay. Well, I'm gonna just get up and head into the area wherever my room is.
Okay.
Do I pass Hex? Do I pass you, Hex?
Yeah.
On the way out?
Yeah, you would pass
Oh, you
Hex
do?
in the hall.
If you're in the hall,
Yeah.
then yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm just head down, phone out, but I'm not doing anything on it. I'm just listening.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna look at her. I'm just gonna pass by her with my hands in my pockets and just say, "Fuck them and fuck everybody," and then get in my room and just slam the door as hard as I can.
That's potentially going to be a problem.
We'll deal with it later.
I mean, on site.
Yeah. Oh god, she's the one I'd trust least to keep it together.
Maybe tonight, but she has an extensive law and not lawyer per se, but has a background in this stuff.
She has the most etiquette out of any single person in this room when she wants to. I'm not worried if she actually applies. She'll either apply it or she's not going to come.
And all of your phones go off with messages. It is from Alpha. And it says 11 p.m. tomorrow, Georgia Guidestones. Please don't fucking embarrass me. See you there. Don't bring weapons. And then there is an immediate follow-up text that says, I have to say that last part, but absolutely do not listen to me. Now delete this message. I'm not getting blamed for this.
What the fuck are the Georgia Guidestones?
Predictable.
You ever see Stonehenge?
Yeah.
You ever seen Georgia Stonehenge?
Smaller. Smaller and a little bit more apocalyptic. It's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it outside?
It's outside.
Okay.
Yeah, that place.
Okay.
That's like up north.
Yeah, it's over towards Athens.
What weapons work against Fae?
Cold iron.
Wait, really?
Yeah?
Like a fucking stick of rebar?
Untempered rebar, yeah. But if you bring it, they will know and they will be viewed as a challenge. They can feel that shit.
Huh.
Even if it's a tire iron in the trunk of my car?
I don't know how far away they can feel it. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Okay. Okay.
And your phone pings one more time. This one from Alpha again. And it just says, God, I fucking hate fairies. And that is where we are going to take our break. We will be right back in a few minutes. Get some water, stretch your legs, and we'll see how this plays out. welcome back. And so, the night is here, and you all wake up. Everyone, please give me a rouse check.
God help me.
Still hungry.
Can
Oh,
we
Jesus
assume
Christ.
that I fed?
You all
the
would
previous
have
day?
fed, so you are starting at 1.
Okay.
We did
I'm
talk
hungry,
about that on
I'm
breakfast.
hungrier.
Okay,
It's perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
awesome.
With new dice, bye. I did not
Alright.
select the option to bless the dice. That may have been on me. It was
I mean, I can do it for you right now if
No.
you want.
This is just not the night for that.
All right, so you guys have woken up. Jackson, you had something you wanted to do?
Yeah, just after I wake up, I'm going to text Hex
Okay.
and just, do you need anything?
I'm gonna reply with not to do anything today. I don't know, like that's the first thing's gonna come. Like just to not. I'm gonna to not. Period. That's my
Okay.
response.
Worst case scenario, I will get in the way. And then I delete that text.
Message unsent.
I give you just enough time to read it, and then I delete it from the conversation.
I have a Samsung. It's still there, but I'll delete it. I'm gonna send like the black heart emoji. I'm gonna text Hawthorne, and I'm gonna just say it's gonna be the same. Like I don't know. I'm gonna pretend I've already talked to Hawthorne and just been like, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, you've
like
told
we've
him
already
everything.
talked about the file and everything. So I'm just gonna text him another black heart, and then I'm gonna text because I heard what I was listening on the conversation. I'm gonna text my other boyfriend whose name I can't. Chaz.
Yes.
Because he worked for that guy.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna text him and just say, oh god, what should I say to this? Was looking up the CEO, trying to look up CEO of your company on LinkedIn. What's his name?
And he overly zealously just sent you back a direct link to his LinkedIn page.
I'm gonna click it, and I
Love
want him to
efficiency.
know
Love.
I've been
We
on
love
it because
it.
I have a LinkedIn page that is not Alethea, but it is. Oh, or should it be? Nope, it's not Alethea because that make no sense. But it's definitely like a different, made-up LinkedIn page, and I'm gonna click it and look through it. And
For a white man.
Nope, it is actually for a Chinese man who has a white name.
No, I meant her fake one.
Yeah.
Just like
Oh,
some
yeah.
generic
oh,
looking
like
white
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely like
Tom Ford or
like blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman. You know, see how many more, a lot more responses to resumes. Just I don't know how that happened. So,
Shocker.
so yeah, I'm just gonna look at his LinkedIn and anything. I mean, it's a LinkedIn, so like nothing exciting, but
He's
probably
been the
accolades.
CEO of that company for probably the last 10 years. Before that, he was a CEO overseas in Britain, and before that, a CEO in Beijing.
Okay. No links to anything else that he's been.
No, but he does think that LinkedIn is social media. So there's a lot of posts and articles and congratulating other people on their promotions.
First of all, no. I'm not kidding, but I'm kind of kidding.
Sorry, LinkedIn sponsor us. Okay. I'm gonna respond back to him. Thanks. What do you think of this? What have you thought of this guy since you worked for him?
And he's going to respond, he's really great, tells really bad dad jokes, always comes through on the raises and promotions, seems to get super aggressive at squash, though.
Cool. Man, I don't have anything else to say to this guy, so I'm just gonna say thanks, see you soon.
Yeah, and he writes back, let me know if you apply for a job, with a little heart.
Job, right. Okay. Yeah, that basically covers all of my bases of anyone I'd want to talk to. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna leave the room and sit on the couch.
Okay. All right, and so how are all of you going to be getting to the Guidestones tonight? It's a 2-hour drive.
Oh,
Traffic depending, of course, because this is Atlanta.
I will be driving.
And who all will be riding with you?
I'm driving myself.
You got the motorcycle.
I have the
Yeah.
motorcycle, so I'm gonna.
I don't want to go. I'm like serious. Like I'm like actively not getting ready or anything.
I'm gonna go knock on Mel's door.
I am literally laying in the bed. The phone has been turned off. Everything that is electric
Right.
has been turned off and put
If
away.
you're offering this.
There's less stuff in that car
literally-
you can break than other people's. Sorry.
It's okay. Literally nothing out of the bed, nothing out of the case. Same clothes I came in on, just laying in the bed with my eyes open.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
And I'm not going to say anything.
I'm gonna knock again.
I'm not going to say anything.
I'm gonna knock again.
I'm going to keep not saying anything.
As this is happening, before I leave, I'm going to pass by and I'm just gonna open Mel's door.
I was going to.
That's what I'm waiting for that.
I'm gonna
Like,
open Mel's door and I see you. I'm just gonna straight face nodish and I'm gonna open Mel's door and look at her and say, "You're not coming, are you?"
I'm not going to be any help.
You are going to be one of the best hopes that we have.
I think the Camarilla would disagree. But I guess I'll put on a pretty face for everybody. I'm going to walk in, going to lightly push her out the door, not meaning to be mean, but kind of like, I need my space, close the door, and
You don't want to get changed with a door open.
I don't want any kind of thing, but like, I need to process this and get myself cleaned up and pretend for a little bit.
It's about when I'll open my door and just go, I'm glad you did, because I was going to be mean about it.
I'm gonna open her door one more time. Like
I'm literally gonna be like in a bra and panties at this point. That
I'm
like,
gonna peek in and say, I'm really glad you're back. I missed you a lot, and it means a lot that you were here yesterday for that. And then I'm gonna close it and leave.
and I'm gonna like mutter under my breath. Well, hope it's not the last time. Like, just, you know.
As Hex leaves, I'm just going to like wave my backpack, the same one I had last season, at her, just knowingly.
Storyteller,
Yes.
is the living room a safe place to sleep?
Yes.
I usually sleep in the living room. Then I will establish that now. I just sleep on the couch.
That makes sense.
And when I wake up, I do turn heightened senses on because then I can listen to people going up and down the hallway and see
Yep.
if anyone's coming to our door. So to anyone who is in the living room at this point, which I think might just be Aaron,
Yep.
I say the nihilism streak is new.
The Anarch Street
Yeah.
in the city is new as well.
Yeah, but they aren't necessarily nihilistic. There's a certain level of like, I don't care if I die, coming from her.
I don't have her background.
I barely know anything about it, honestly.
If I was to get a threatening package, and I immediately think of Mark, and I text to Mel, glad you're back. Is Mark okay?
And I'm not going to respond because I do not have my phone. I have turned off everything. My escape mechanism is I'm pretending like it is 1812 again, and I am not touching anything.
Or just waiting? Hold on, it takes a while.
I'm gonna walk into the
I
room.
know.
Talking about Mel.
The nihilism streak is new.
Yeah. With
On-
Bruja, as much as people talk about the Ventrus need to succeed,
Yeah.
I've seen more Bruja in my time. The minute things started getting really, really bad, they really started throwing in the towel right before things are supposed to get good.
And then that's like literally when I'm going to open my door and say, first of all, fuck you very much. I'm the one who's gone through several revolutions. But all of that to say, what we're doing is stupid. Camarilla is stupid. This is all fucking stupid. But I'm gonna put on a nice face for Hex. Because she deserves it. There.
I'm going to pull up my phone. And I am going to text a number that just has emojis for the name.
Okay.
And I'm just going to say, I have a question for you when you're free.
And you get back, I'm never free.
Who
Ever.
really is?
What's your question?
Do you still have Mark?
And you are going to get back a picture of Mark with both hands.
Just a good number of hands.
I just reply, noted. And then I delete the entire text chain
Okay.
from my phone.
Okay. So, what is the car configuration?
I asked Aaron if he wanted to ride with me.
Okay.
I'm going to, I'm gonna go back to Mel's room to say, I have a ride if you would like.
Yeah, what the fuck ever. And I'm just gonna like shuffle out, close my door lightly, wearing whatever we are supposed to be wearing for this venture, right? Are we supposed to dress
Yeah,
a
just
certain
something
kind of way?
nice.
Okay, well then I'll be wearing something nice that looks courtly-ish. Yeah, and I'll just follow her. No, sans everything. Literally not bringing anything with me but to close my bag.
Anton?
I'm just following everybody out, and when I get down there, I'm just going to go into one of the cars. I'm not literally not even waiting for an invitation. Just whichever one doesn't take off by the time I get down there is what I'm getting into.
Okay, so for each of you that are driving, please make me your Dex and Drive roll.
Oh, that's probably me too.
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah.
You wanted the motorcycle.
I did. Dex.
4.
4.
2. 2.
So Jackson speeds past all of you pretty quickly.
Ow. Motorcycle.
Yeah, for some reason his car's going real fast.
You might have noticed there that Jackson's car doesn't necessarily appear to be street legal.
I mean, you're distracted. It's a
I am. I'm pretty
Yeah.
stuck behind a bunch of stuff. Like
Yeah, a couple 18-wheelers at this time of night, especially out on those roads, they're not paying a whole lot of attention, kind of swerving from lane to lane.
That's down to 360, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
316, yeah.
316,
And I'm probably also triggered from, I don't know, an 18-wheeler. So, yeah, it's pretty...
Yeah, you all are probably
Remember that
very
time we got hit
uncomfortable
by
with that
18-wheeler?
18-wheeler that
Yeah.
hit you on the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Windows rolled down. I've been thinking about turning into a dog. I have
So I
not,
was like, your head out the window?
but it's good to have the option.
Okay, you're resisting temptation. It's gonna be a good night.
And so you guys pull up, and there is a small set of lights kind of lining a pathway out into the farm for you. Now, for our audience, the Georgia Guidestones are a peculiar monument. Constructed in the 80s by an anonymous group, it is 4 granite slabs with a piece in the middle and one at the top. The whole structure stands about 20 feet tall, and it's very out of place in this random field in Elbert County. They contain what the group felt were guidelines for society and for the future, and are written in English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. They have been the subject of numerous conspiracy theories and urban legends ever since they were built. There's been accusations that the group commissioned them, being everything from Satanists to aliens to just a group of eccentrics with way too much money. But nevertheless, everyone in Georgia has always been very fascinated by them, and especially groups that have their own secrets to hide. And so as you all approach the stones, you see a group tightly huddled together with some lights in the middle of the group as they're talking. Dot and Alpha are already there, standing side by side, kind of a little bit away from the monument. And they are just kind of both staring. They're not talking to each other, just standing side by side. And when you all approach, Dot and Alpha look at you, give you a small nod, and Alpha waves for you, Hex, and kind of gestures for the rest of the group to, like, fall in sort of behind them. Not necessarily directly behind them, but just don't stand up at the same line.
I'm gonna fall in line and follow Alpha's hand signatures.
Alpha kind of gives you, like, a soft little shoulder nudge.
To say, thanks, Daddy.
And he kind of... What about the rest of you?
I'm gonna try and be last.
I fall in line.
She tries, but she is unsuccessful. I am last.
Slow down competition, like, I'm gonna be.
But looking totally put together while I'm doing it.
I will be right behind X.
Okay.
I fall in line standing roughly directly behind her.
Okay. And Aaron?
Middle of the group, try my best to not even make eye contact with us. I don't know anything about what could happen.
Okay. And so once you're all in position, the heads of the group kind of poke up and look over at you, and they notice you, and they all turn to walk towards you. The lights with them seemingly have no sources. They are just floating along with them illuminating this field.
Storyteller, for clarification, I will have Sense the Unseen up this entire scene.
And I have
Okay.
heightened senses on.
With your Sense the Unseen, it's quite a menagerie walking towards you, as Sense the Unseen will pierce the glamour.
Yep.
So, as I describe them for Anton, I will describe what you actually see. So, they just have small balls of light traveling with them, not too many, but enough to make sight reasonable, but not draw attention to all of you here. You see a thin Asian man in a suit with a very ostentatious orange and red silk tie, and you recognize him as the CEO from the holiday party at the Coca-Cola Museum. Anton, you see what could only be described as the Monkey King. You all see next to him, on his left side, are 6 people in varying states of dress, some ornate, some fancy, some jeans and a t-shirt. And Anton, among those people, you see a cat, and you see something unusually almost like a lizard. But not quite. And then on his other side, there are 4 women who look clearly like factory workers that just got off work. Anton, they all look like cranes. And next to them is a man dressed like a cowboy. Anton, you know what you see when you look at him.
I do.
And in front of him is a man on his knees, tied up very intricately, with the cowboy man holding the rope very taut to keep him from moving. And behind this group, there are about 5 more people, seemingly along for the ride. They haven't taken a step forward with everyone else, they're just with them.
So, Storyteller, just for Anton's own clarification, it seems like, with the exception of the man that's tied up, these are all puka?
No, only about half of them.
Okay.
Only about half of them.
Okay.
There's the cat person, the lizard person, 4 cranes. Everyone else you
And the
don't,
cowboy.
And the cowboy. Everyone else you don't get puka.
Okay, I get it. Okay, cool. Making sure. Still a lot.
Yeah. And so in total, you are roughly, for Anton, you've only known about 5 of them.
And not even these 5.
Yeah, not even these 5. You are roughly seeing about 20.
Yeah. Full court.
And the CEO kind of walks up to Alpha, grinning from ear to ear. He goes, "Hello there, vampire." Alpha goes, "We go by kindred." He goes, "I don't care. Not one bit. We're here today to see if we're going to war. I don't really care about your semantics, so which of you is the sneaky little sewer rat?" And Dot just kind of steps forward, very tense in every single part of her body. And the man in the rope struggles, and is clearly trying to get at her, looking absolutely crazed. He's just like, "You broke the treaty, she was mine!"
He has less self-control than I do.
And Dot just, without looking at him, keeping her eyes in the middle distance, she says, "Humans are not property of the Faith, fucker." The cowboy looks at Dot and kind of grins and goes, "You're gonna have to watch him out there or I might let him go." CEO goes, all right. Go ahead. Tell me why this isn't a cause for war. How does this not violate the treaty?" And Dot says, "My original plan was to kill the man before he could harm the girl. I intended her for my own. I wanted to turn her. I thought she would be good for our group. I didn't want someone to just up and kill her when I wasn't prepared. So I decided to take her ahead of schedule. And when I found out that he was one of you, I did not kill him so that it did not violate our treaty. I simply moved forward with my own plan, took the girl in as I intended. If you want to say he has any claim over the outcome of her life simply because it was his desire, then isn't my desire for her to be a Nosferatu just as equal priority?" And you see the rest of the Fae kind of bristle a little bit at the idea that a kindred's wants are the same as theirs. And he goes, "See, you want to present this as two exact same situations which should cancel each other out because you simply beat him to the goal. However, you knew who he was, and he never knew you existed. That would make it unfair. Because by not revealing yourself to him, you realized the opposing desires. You therefore made it an uneven playing field, and so you levied an advantage to defeat him. How does this not violate the treaty? Because not all combat's brutal bloodshed. Am I wrong?"
Keep my mouth shut.
And Alpha kind of goes, "Your Grace, if I may speak as equals," says, "we are in no way equals, but proceed." Says, "This appears to be a situation that is a massive loophole in the treaty. I myself was not Prince at the time it was written. That was Talbot Rourke, completely different man. So I can't speak to the mental abilities of the previous Prince. However, it does strike me as an obvious flaw that this accident has brought to light. If we all completely leave each other the hell alone with no communication, how do we keep people from exploiting that maliciously?" And all the Fae seem to kind of be intrigued by this idea.
Storyteller. While he's talking, going to lean like ever so slightly like up to Dot's ear and whisper, "Didn't you find out he was Fae after you killed Hex?"
And Dot's like,
I'll just go, "Might help," and sit back.
and he says, "Well, let's say she did actually kill him. Let's say she killed him before knowing he was one of you. That situation would be completely different. He would have died because we didn't share any information. I'm not saying we need to know your business or even your goings on. I don't really care. Just seems we're only in this mess because Dot was trying to follow the treaty. But with something as big as this loophole, somebody's bound enough to fall in." And the CEO kind of tenses up a little bit. And Anton, you see the monkey like squaring his shoulders out. And he says, "We want to hear from the girl. We've all been discussing you while you stand right here as if you're not here. So what do you have to say for yourself and your vampire community? How do you see this situation?"
Well, before I get into that, I'm going to look at the guy tied up. I want to know what would have happened to me.
And Dot kind of drops her head a little bit. And the CEO turns and he just gestures to the guy, and the cowboy allows him to stand, kind of pulls him up standing, and you see that he is tied hip, knees, ankles, practically like mummified in rope to keep him behaving. And he stands up, smiling. He goes, "You wanted to know what I was going to do to you? Well, first, I was going to make sure you lived through all of it, because your brain is so brilliant and beautiful. So I want you to see the beauty that I make, my art. So first, I was going to cut off your feet and put them in a beautiful pair of shoes up on the wall. And then I was going to, my brother calls it reverse hangman. I was going to go piece by piece and decorate each one and put them on the wall until finally I had to take your head. And then your head, you would be gone by this point. Whole process usually takes about 5 to 6 months. You were really going to be my piece de resistance. And I was going to cut open your beautiful head, making sure to go along the hairline so as to not hurt your beautiful, beautiful face. And then I was going to take your brain and I was going to cast it and gild it so that it was golden, because we know your brain is golden. And was going to set that separately. And then your beautiful head on top. That is what I was going to do. And you can see that even the Fae are not wanting to pay attention to this. They don't like hearing it. He seems to very much be... They are ashamed that he's with them.
So I'm going to have paid attention to as he said that, and I'll look now at the lead Monkey King and say, I can't say that my time as kindred, I'm going to say that real hard, has been the easiest, but I don't think you all who seem to be beautiful in yourselves and want that for the world could have found a way through this guy, and I'll point to the crazy dude, to make me more beautiful than I am now, that Dot did what she had to do.
So you would agree that her desires in this moment were equal to his, and perhaps this loophole allowed her to had advantage in a situation that it's our fault for not foreseeing.
No, I wouldn't agree with that.
Let me ask, if you were in my shoes, what would you think should become of you? And of your, what's the word? Your mother.
If I were in your shoes, there probably would be no one who would try or would be able to put those shoes on a shelf in their own home for their own decoration. So it's hard for me, from a human standpoint and from a now kindred standpoint, to imagine the power that you have, because I am ultimately powerless in this situation. I'm only here because you've asked me to be here, and you've already created in your mind how this will go.
Indeed. So you would have me kill him? He's a blight and embarrassment. His behavior led to this situation completely, did it not?
From my understanding, this is where we are now, so at least some of that is true.
Interesting. Kindred that are here, and he looks to the rest of you. Who are all of you? I only summoned them. Are you other mistakes that we have to account for tonight? I have a very busy schedule.
I look to Anton. No, to Alpha.
And Alpha's like, no. They're friends of hers. We figured if tonight went poorly, it was fair to let her friends be there by her side for it. Oh, it's cute. Oh, what are your names?
I look to Alpha again.
And Alpha goes, I ain't doing that one, John. He goes, oh, that was going to be fun. Anyway. Well, are any of you important to your vampire people? Any positions of power?
Once again, I look to Alpha.
He goes, oh, you're no fun.
I just smile at him.
You've met me before. I remember you from the party. Oh, we'll have to do that again sometime. All right. Well, the way I see it, at least for now, and anyone shout if you so feel inclined, I feel that we will revisit this treaty. That'll be a whole other meeting. I have things to do tonight. But it will be tomorrow, as I am not going to allow anything else like this. God knows how much is actually like this in the city. We need to fix this loophole. I hate loopholes. And I hate exploitations of my loopholes. So I'm going to require blood from both sides. Kit. And you see the cowboy quickly reaches down and slits the throat of the red cap and drops him in the ground. And he looks to Alpha. He goes, well, what are you going to give me? And Alpha opens his mouth to speak, and Dot steps forward. And she goes, for what the now deceased wish to do, I find it fair that you take whatever you wish from me. And one of the women walks up. Not one of the pukas.
Mm-hmm.
She walks up and looks at Dot and says, what's your name?
I'm gonna step in and say, wait.
Hex, don't. Let me do this, please.
Okay, this is like really difficult because like I kind of want to know what's gonna happen if I do this.
Hex.
I'm gonna say Alethea.
And the girl looks to you and grins. Thank you. And she looks back to Dot. And what is your name? And Hex, you feel a sickening feeling in your stomach as your memories of your human life as Alethea disappear from you.
Oh shit.
Alethea is gone. You are now only hexadecimal.
And I know this.
You can feel the memories going away.
Okay. Oh damn. Simple and clean is the way.
And Dot steps forward, looks to you, Hex, just says, "Love you, sweetie." Looks back and Dorothy Oglethorpe. And the woman takes Dot by the hand and leads her back to the group. The CEO goes, "All right, you're all dismissed. Good night." And Alpha turns and starts storming towards his car.
And I just grit my teeth and just go, "One moment, please."
Oh, what?
I was like, try to catch Dot's attention and wave to her. Please.
And he goes, "Oh, fine, you're kind of so dramatic." And he lets Dot walk over to you.
And when she gets up to me, quietly, I say, "At the house you said you had somebody drive the car. Who is responsible for her going off the road and dying?"
Das.
This is your choice, but by word of law, he is the one that killed her.
I can't do that to him.
As I said, this is your choice.
And I'm making it.
Thank you.
I don't know what they're gonna do. So make sure you take care of her.
And I hug her.
She doesn't hug back, but she does kind of lean her head against yours.
And then I turn and walk away.
And she turns and rejoins the group. And they walk out into the night, and the lights around them disappear. And they are gone. And you guys are left standing by yourselves.
I'm just gonna be like everything's happening really fast, so I'm like Hex is just like like I don't want to scream because I'm not gonna blow out this mic, but like
And,
like really loud, like just like on the ground.
and Hex, I need you to roll me all of your humanity and tell me what you get.
Ooh. Including my hunger?
No,
Nope, just your humanity.
Oh.
Yeah, the total black dots on there.
Get out of here, other dots. We got decisions to make. Okay. It's not looking. Oh yeah, like where is it? 3 critical?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. Please lose 1 dot of humanity. Also, who are your touchstones?
I had 1. And it was Jaden Smith. For realsies. It was Jaden
Who is
Smith.
Jaden Smith?
Jaden Smith is the epitome of youth.
No, for Hex.
Oh.
Who on earth is Jaden Smith? That was someone Alethea cared about.
Yes.
You have now lost your touchstone and the conviction that went with him. You will have 72 hours to regain that conviction by finding someone else who represents that value.
Nope.
Can you find a different value, or does it have to be that value?
She can find a different value.
Okay. Just for clarification.
Okay.
Yeah. You will just have 72 hours to reestablish that conviction before it is permanently lost.
Okay. I didn't write down what that was, but I will, and that'll be fun. Okay.
And so with the loss of your identity as Alethea, you've lost a bit of what made you human as well. And there's something about the coldness that Dot always approached things with. It feels a little more understandable now. That loss of humanity takes a bit of the objectivity and empathy out of situations.
I was gonna be on the ground like, she should have just let him have me. She should have just let him have me. She should have just let him have me.
She did what she thought was right.
Shut up. You don't know that. You don't know him. You don't know that crazy guy. You don't know. You may know her, but how could you? How could you know?
Because I gave her a choice at the end and she chose to save you.
Not saved. I'm worse off than I was before.
You have a chance.
There's no there was no chance. I tried to step in and take a chance, and
You
now
have a chance to survive and make something of yourself, which is what she wanted for you. From the beginning, from her twisted fucking plan, that's what she wanted.
and now who is she? What are her plans that she's making now?
Her plan, her last plan, give you an open life to continue to grow.
Grow. A lot of good that did.
Make it worthwhile. If it meant anything to you, make it worthwhile.
Well, it may have meant something before I lost my fucking identity.
Then you make a new identity. I have known you for 8 years. You have an identity. Grow it. Build it. Become it. You are who you choose to be.
No. I am what she decided for me, and I now have to figure out what I'm going to be after that.
You were what she wanted you to be. Now you are what you choose to be. This is your first step. And we will be here for you.
It's funny because being here, being where Dot wanted me to be, being with you guys, being where other people needed me to be, doing what other people need me to do, check this hex, look this up for me, can you put this, Google this for me, simple shit like that, and it got me lost. You may say I could be a new person, but I'm lost right now.
Then take the time that you need to find it. And we're still going to be here. I don't have good information. I didn't know enough about this going in. I'm not that much of a foreplanner like Dot or Victor or whoever. But all I know is that you are now who you want to be going forward. This is your opening. This is your path, and take the time that you need to see that. But you have a clean slate.
Yeah, you're fucking right about that. I know you're trying to be optimistic. It's
I'm trying
not
to be your friend.
gonna work today. Yeah. You're a Dot's friend too.
I was Dot's friend until she showed me who she was. Now you show me who you are.
I have to go.
I know. But we will be here, okay?
I'm gonna look at the girls. and just be like, thanks for being the girls.
Do you need money? If you do,
I'll know how to get it. Thanks.
And Mel is gonna like step up and like really aggressively like big granddad hug you, not letting your arms get around me, like literally lock you in a hug, and like aggressively whisper in your ear, "Don't fuck this up, kid. Make us and yourself proud." And then like grab her hair and give her a kiss and stop things.
That was aggressive.
Yeah.
Just gonna be like, thanks.
And then I'm gonna like turn around and walk away because like that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been real. It's been real. Don't look for me when you get back to the apartment.
Take the time you need.
I'm gonna let's see, what might I do? I feel like I should do something else before I leave this area, but I'm gonna go to my motorcycle and just like real slow prep though, like just walking and thinking, but walking away from the group.
Okay.
Storyteller.
Yes.
Something that Anton said clicked in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to establish Victor as my knowledge's power touchstone against his better judgment.
Okay. The mad scientist Victor is your new touchstone.
And he is not particularly happy about it.
Thomasina,
yep. Anything else? Go on.
you receive a text message
Okay.
from a certain gentleman in your life.
Uh-huh.
And it says, "What can I do to help?" And you get a follow-up that says, "Your face probably has that scrunched up frown of surprise. I've known him for a long time and I don't trust him, so I keep my eye on him. And I know he has your friend now. Do you want me to intervene?"
I'm gonna text back. Do you know how bad an idea that would be?
Can I just say something real quick? I turned on obfuscate, and when her phone pinged, I was looking over her shoulder.
Okay.
So,
And you get back and you get, "I'm the director of an organization of bad ideas."
Put that on a shirt.
I'm gonna text back. The question was enough. Thank you.
And you get back, "Sorry you had to say goodbye."
I'm gonna text back. I wish I were certain whether or not it was goodbye.
And he sends you back just a gif of a kid crossing their fingers.
That's gonna be it for me on that one.
Okay.
I will have shuffled quietly back to the car, where I'm still in obfuscate.
For note, I still had sentiency enough from this phase.
And Jackson and Aaron, you both get a text from Denise. And it says, "When you get a chance, I'd like to know what happened. Alpha's not telling me anything. He's just really upset and pissed. The twins make cookies. They're actually good this time."
That sounds like a threat.
Twins with cookies.
That's a real weapon against the Fae. Okay. I'll text back. Meet up with you later.
Okay.
I walk over to Hex while they're still prepping up.
Yeah, I
the
haven't looked yet.
motorcycle. Just travel safe. Coteries disperse, break up. Kindred move on. I just hope you find your way back sooner or later.
We'll see.
He closes his eyes for one more boop.
I'm gonna say, "You're a good boy." I'm gonna boop him.
Mr. Artillery, I'm gonna text back Josiah really quick. If you have any eyes on her, could you take them off for a little while?
And he'll reply with only if you're sure.
3 weeks.
And he says, done. And Mel, as you're standing in the dark and everyone else is not near you, an arm kind of goes around your shoulder.
While I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And you look to see Jean. And he goes, my darling, I'm so sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of that for Mel, and she just like absolutely loses her mind, hysterically crying, like in English and French, and just absolutely wailing. Like
He immediately turns you to bury your face in his chest so that he can kind of muffle it
wailing,
for you.
like
Yeah.
totally wailing.
And he's just petting your hair, giving you a few new highlights as he does so.
Just looking at this guy comforting Mel out of nowhere. Just kind of looked at the others. I need a bit of time to process a lot of this. But, we'll sort through this and hopefully she'll be back.
Is that it? Chapter closed, no more face stuff? Or is this opening up a whole new bag?
Said there was a contract to renegotiate.
Mm-hmm.
The books never close on Atlanta. There's always new pages.
That was very storybook.
I'm a teacher.
Well, I'm gonna walk over to my car and just as I pass by Hex, just say, good luck.
Thanks. I'm going to just hand Jackson my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's on it. There's no text or anything. I'm just,
I turn it off and I just stick it in my pocket.
yeah. And then I will leave. So,
Before you leave.
okay. Then I will turn on the motorcycle and rev.
So as
Get
you,
ready.
As you turn on the motorcycle and the lights come on, you can see that there's a small envelope on
Envelope.
your dash.
Okay. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna open it.
It's from Dot,
Oh no. Okay.
and it says, I never could have predicted the amazing woman you would become. No matter what happens to me, I have never been more proud to be your mom.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna tuck it into a pocket, and I'm gonna blood tear, and I'm gonna drive off.
Okay. And as everyone heads out into the night, that is where we are going to leave off for tonight. Thank you all again so much for joining us. And to those in the chat that did notice, yes, we are wearing yellow and blue. Do what you can to support. We stand with you, Ukraine. Good night, everyone. Take care of yourselves and each other.